The next topic is one that was actually quite well known back in the day, but has since fallen into obscurity as other, more popular Nickelodeon topics kind of replaced the intrigue people had with it. Though that also might just be for the fact that there isn't really a lot of information about it online, and I actually forgot this one existed too until rediscovering it for the video. This is the pilot for Ned's Declassified High School Survival Guide, not to be confused with the lost pilots from the original series. The High School Survival Guide was supposed to be a spin-off of the original, that would likely see Ned continue the series as a high schooler.
Yeah, dude, they canceled this because they didn't think it would be popular enough because kids drop out of high school so often these days that no one would watch this TV show. Damn, so sad. That's why we're all stupid.
This was never officially confirmed, as the series was never fully picked up or even announced.
This
topic sort of came about from evidence suggesting more to the series would be made, as actor Devin Werkheiser had signed a development contract with Nickelodeon in June 2008, as he mentioned on his blog. I signed a development deal with Nickelodeon for them to work on creating a spin-off for Ned to go to high school. It's a work in progress and we'll know in the next couple of months if it gets greenlit. However, nothing else ever came from this project,
so needless
to say it was never greenlit. It's been claimed...
But now they have a podcast, you know? So there's that. They just skipped high school and went right to freaking the future school. Let's see Jimmy Robbins' video about this podcast. Apparently, it became a nostalgic nightmare. Little tangent.
You want to make a lot of money, right?
I love money.
Creating something, that's hard. Like, you can put your heart, soul, and other people's money into something new just for no one to care. So instead, why not cash in on nostalgia? If people are finally looking back at a certain time or property, it means you have an almost guaranteed audience, meaning your worst case scenario would be far more manageable. Hence the last decade of media, which has seen countless reboots and revivals that have caused millions of millennials to collectively go, I mean... Alright, it's nice to see where everyone ended up, I guess. But one show in particular just hasn't managed to cross...
It's Declassified Yapcast, How to Survive in the Modern Era. I need to be heard.
It's the line to reboot land, and ironically, it's the kind of show that seems...
How to set up your Blue Yeti, tip number 1.
Perfect for it. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide was a successful Nickelodeon sitcom that ran in the mid-2000s, and the premise set itself up perfectly for a long run.
Ned Bigby, that's me, and my 2 best friends try to do the impossible. Create a guide that will help you survive school.
So logically, a show like this seems like it would have the potential to be something like Boy Meets World meets Sweet Life. I mean, both properties focus on following their protagonists from childhood to young adulthood and the challenges that evolve over time.
He's a teacher, man. Keep ragging on him. He's gonna make your whole 6th grade year miserable.
But let's get to the podcast.
To not only fail at capitalizing off of nostalgia, but even have people turn against them. The answer in many ways stems from an incredible lack of self-awareness. What do I mean? You see, in general, people are lukewarm at best when it comes to rewatch podcasts. I mean, it's hard...
Dude, I wish we could have made that collab a reality. I suppose there's still time.
To deny that
we'll
riding on past laurels for a living is kind of lazy, says the guy whose job it is to overthink the interesting things that other people do. I see the irony, don't worry. But in most cases, the logical conclusion when these podcasts are announced is that the hosts were typecast and had limited success finding work when their show ended. But the bills kept piling, so it's either become an electrician or just talk for an hour a week and make more money. I'm not too harsh about it because I do think almost everyone would choose the latter, but people are quick to dislike it because, well, the rest of us aren't getting that choice. And that's not even mentioning the things that individual hosts will do to rub people the wrong way, like throwing shade at co-stars for simply not wanting to participate in the podcast.
Hey, I want everyone to know that we've asked every single person from the show to be on Wizards of...
To be fair, this is a different show, not Ned's Declassified, so why are they getting called out for Wizards of Waverly Husband? I don't even remember this guy's character's name. Marty? Jimmy?
Yeah, multiple times over a long period of time.
Everybody. David Henry, Jake T. Austin, we would love to have you on the show. It would be great to have you here.
Or for constantly alluding to a big scandal that they're going to break, but never do.
Please. Spare us.
Though before even announcing their podcast,
fair reaction though.
The 3 lead actors for Ned's Declassified, Devin Werkheiser, who played Ned Bigby, Lindsay Shaw, aka Mose, and Daniel Curtis Lee, better known as Cookie, had expressed interest in doing some kind of revival, especially Devin, who had in the years since participated in online parodies.
You guys are just gonna throw this away?
No. I wasn't even like...
Collabed with Nathan Zed, that's cool. I think he did like a bunch of cameos like this. Like I think he had one with Shane Dawson. I'm not gonna go find that because that would be a tangent off of a tangent. And then I'd have to commit.
It's been a while, but I got you.
Attempts to continue Ned's legacy as somewhat of a lifestyle influencer.
A real life survival guide. First dates. Can you take the pressure off? Can you relax a little bit?
And even tried on his own to revive the series.
I wanted it for you. I wanted it for me, and I thought it would be amazing to make a self-help sitcom for a generation that could use a friend. Cookie and Mose were on board. The original creator and producer Scott and Michelle Fellows were on board, but we don't own the rights to Ned's Declassified. So we pitched it to Nickelodeon and Awesomeness TV, who do own the rights to it, and they passed on it, and they won't let us take it to sell it somewhere else. So for now, the reboot's dead.
But when none of this leads to a red carpet premiere, then might as well launch a podcast to drum up interest, right? And no matter how you look at it, the podcast started off pretty strong. In fact, the first episode, premiering in February of 2023, is still their most viewed on YouTube. And part of what guided this enthusiasm was actually Devin and Lindsay. In addition to their characters being love interests, spoilers for a 20-year-old kids show, I guess, they had also dated off-screen.
I'm friends with Lindsay. She was my first love, right?
So them coming back together and candidly talking about their relationship while demonstrating a similar level of chemistry.
What's a Lindsay impression?
I mean, you can't capture that.
It's hard to capture. I'm gonna be honest.
It's like a little bit.
It's all over the place. It's a little bit of everything.
Snitch.
It led to the exact kind of parasocial enthusiasm and shipping that you would
Drake and Josh would be the most exciting Nickelodeon reboot for me, I think, but I don't think that would be possible at this point.
expect. And hell, they weren't shy about leaning into this.
Susie!
Like, I don't want to see your old asses kissing later. I don't want to see it at all.
Susie's on the dance floor!
What are you doing?
Not to mention that it's pretty rare to see cast members from these old childhood shows actually get along and be friends years later. Like any Nickelodeon or Disney Channel show you can name usually had tensions while shooting, many of which go unresolved. And best of all, they confirmed that Ned's Declassified did not have the traumatic environment experienced by many other child actors.
Michael starts off the notes by saying, I'm going to give you your notes all in one time at the end, because if I made everyone sit here through all of the notes I have for you, we would all be here for hours and no one would ever get to go home.
You guys were all kids. Michael couldn't pull this stuff with a gun.
I just opened my eyes, I woke up, and he was assaulting me.
It was such a ridiculously lasting, fun family experience. Like, it still holds such a special place. And not, we've been hearing over the last X amount of years, like, not every set was like that, but ours was.
So if you had fond memories of Ned's Declassified, then what's not to like, right? Clearly this is going to be a wholesome peek behind the curtain thanks to these three best friends.
Dude, I ran through every Ned's cast member before I landed on Devin.
Damn.
Remember that?
The chosen one.
Or not. Yeah, let's talk about how, despite the strong start, they've managed to turn the entire internet against them. Starting with the groundwork laid by Lindsay before the podcast even started. See, in 2021, there was a huge trend on TikTok that stemmed from a group of black friends doing a basic two-step dance. Basically, the original video went viral and inspired a lot of people, including Devin, to green screen themselves dancing with the group when describing a moment that they feel cool. Pretty harmless stuff, right? But Lindsay decided to speak out against the trend for some reason.
I was dancing.
Hey, are we okay? What the f is this?
They're dancing. I was dancing. Did you not see?
Yeah, this caused a lot of backlash from the black community because, well, why did she feel the need to say anything about this trend in particular?
That was very random. Why did she hate that dance so much?
So enough people determined that the answer had to do with either the race of the participants or ignorance surrounding black culture.
Hey, are you okay? Because you're doing a lot of hating on black content creators and black dance moves for absolutely no reason. The issue
doing a lot
is
of hating
how
right
quick
now.
people are to discredit black content creators. Lindsay applauds her white co-star when he does the dance, but can't give the respect and the credit to the guys who made it.
Not to mention that black creators often express having to overcome additional hurdles when pursuing content creation, so why are you trying to add to that?
They take a black person's video and a white person's video, and it can be the same exact video, and they restrict the black person's video, but not the white person's video.
And then she tried to apologize, but her apology kinda sucked.
And I know I'm gonna keep learning, I think, like, for my own mental health.
She's crying, guys. She's not racist.
I needed to take a step back from social media. I kind of felt like that anyway.
Including the classic, I'm sorry you feel that way line.
I am sorry you were offended.
As well as emphasizing the backlash she's been getting, possibly in an effort to shift people's focus to feeling sorry for her.
The hate in my inbox is not okay. And this kind of hate just needs to evaporate from the planet, no matter who it's directed toward.
And then both Devin and Daniel came in to try to defend her, but did so in ways that came across as really condescending.
Hey, Lindsay, what it do? Yeah, it's me, your one black friend. Yeah, let society tell it. Hey, so check this out. You done got yourself into a bit of a pickle, all right? You fumbled the hell out of that bag, right?
So now we have a perceived racial bias and perceived microaggression. That's possibly a good opportunity for education of some ignorance that's being turned into hate and telling her to kill herself in her DMs. So people are out here standing for a principle and standing for people of color, which I get, but I'm also
going to talk about the show. What isn't that all they talk about? Is just episodes of the fucking show.
Defend my friend's well-being, and for that, I'm being called racist now. And that's the nuance of our time.
Yeah, they said a lot to avoid Lindsay having to just go, my bad, that was a dumb take. I didn't have a bad intention, but that was silly of me, right? So compare this to when, say, the Wizards of Waverly Place rewatch was announced. Well, the two actors spearheading it were kind of random. None of the three main protagonists partook. David DeLuise was beloved for his sweet and lovable portrayal of Jerry Russo.
It's Jerry Russo, that's the guy. How could I not have remembered?
Who, Alex? While Jennifer Stone had been making headlines for her recent work as a nurse.
Harper Finkel on Wizards of Waverly Place, but now she's got a new role. She became a nurse and is now working on the front lines during COVID-19.
So at the very least, people's last impression of the actors was positive, even if the move felt a little desperate coming from supporting cast. But now for the Neds trio, instead of their last impression being a sweet ending to a decent show, it was this. A weird, unnecessary controversy that the other two inserted themselves into for seemingly no reason other than their own interest in launching a show. And you can argue all you want about if the controversy was overblown, but that doesn't matter. I'm talking about why people have grown to dislike this trio, and this was absolutely the first domino. But then Lindsay's past created another obstacle for this trio's goal of having a successful podcast they could leverage into a reboot. Yeah, let me walk you through some of the most viral pieces of media from this podcast, period. The top is the trio throwing shade at
World couldn't handle a Wizards of Waverly Place reboot. Also, Selena Gomez probably just doesn't want to do it, and they can't do it without her.
101 for receiving a revival.
I am ready to be a hater.
The second is Lindsay talking about how her past drug addiction affected her career.
When I had my problem, I got called into Pretty Little Liars creator's office, and she was just like, we're gonna let you go. It's not because you're acting, but do you have anybody to talk to? And I was like, no. And she's like, we'll find somebody.
There's also Devin and Lindsay talking about their first time trying oral together at roughly 14.
What? Why?
Do you remember the first...
What are you gonna ask on this podcast? First what?
BJ.
No, I don't.
You didn't. After a moment, he just said, thanks, okay. And you got up and you went to the bathroom and you did your thing.
No.
I don't remember that at all. So which one do you remember? The one on the couch?
No, I remember the one in the backseat of your car. We can't talk about this on the pod.
Wow.
Dude, I can't believe...
We got busy in quite a few places.
Lindsay,
what is this? They need to get therapy, not talk about this on a podcast.
Talking about her overdose.
I overdosed, blacked out for 2 days. I got my stomach pumped. Then when I woke up in a mental facility, 2 orderlies go, whoop, walked me back in there. And then I was like, holy shit, I have to stay here. And so I had to convince the doctor I was okay. But then 6 months later, it happened to me again.
And most infamously of all, well...
Dude, I ran through every Ned's cast member before I landed on Devin.
Damn.
Remember that?
The chosen
no.
one.
Were you like young children?
Telling Theo that I liked him and we like held hands at the movies.
He's so mysterious.
That kind of ran through. I see. Okay, well, I sort of understand why it's become a nightmare now. Because they all seem like a lot. Is that where I end this tangent? It might be.
Knock it out of the park at any point.
No comment.
All right, fuck it. Yeah. Back to the lost media, though.
Over the years, that this was largely the result of the cast members having moved on from the series, though it's not even known how many of the original cast members were signed onto this project along with Devin. And most interestingly is that this is all we've ever learned about the project,
apparently.
And it's really hard to search for online because of how close to the original series the title is. This also makes me question if a pilot for the series even exists, or if it was more of just like a script kind of thing that never went anywhere else. The Lost Media Wiki article states that Werkheiser said a pilot was shot, and I did find the page that information came from, but other than the development deal he spoke about on his blog, there's no evidence suggesting any filming occurred. I guess it's possible they could have filmed the pilot, but Devin himself even said it was just a development deal, not that anything was ever actually filmed. So maybe this was sort of just like a misunderstanding over the years. People have asked Devin about the series' original pilots before, so if another chance to talk to him comes up, maybe someone could get confirmation about whether or not a high school pilot was filmed, or how much of it was made at all. Though humorously, a troll comment on the Lost Media Wiki article claims to have a copy from when it aired on TV, which is fascinating that someone cared so much about this to string people along.